You will make a lot of money if you're successful. But there's this thing that people have where they see a guy like Floyd Mayweather and they say, well, hey, boxers make millions of dollars. Look, Floyd Mayweather made hundreds of millions of dollars. No. But guarantee you, he ain't making very good money.
That was kind of bothersome. My only question to him would be, where's your soul? It is true.
In a dramatic development, two of the most powerful figures in sports and media, podcaster Joe Rogan and commentator Stephen A. Smith, have allegedly brought serious accusations against Floyd Mayweather Jr., claiming that the undefeated boxing icon engineered an expansive $42 million fraud operation, distorted the public narrative about his fortune, and hid assets through offshore structures. Rogan alleges that a deep financial review indicates Mayweather funneled millions via shell corporations established in the Caribbean and the British Virgin Islands, a framework allegedly built to divert fight purses, endorsement earnings, and licensing income away from rightful stakeholders and tax agencies. Smith has reinforced these claims, citing reportedly unsealed court filings that identify Mayweather as the architect of financial arrangements designed to disguise the real origin and destination of funds, thereby defrauding promoters, investors, and even individuals within his close circle. Rogan's probe references a collection of banking documents and corporate records suggesting that over the past decade, Mayweather redirected nearly $500 million through a maze of trusts and limited liability entities formed in regions known for minimal disclosure rules. These entities allegedly acquired high-end properties in Miami and Beverly Hills under alternate identities, masking true ownership and enabling the movement of fight earnings without activating reporting requirements. Rogan further contends that private equity groups once committed minimum guarantees for Mayweather's headline bouts, frequently promoted as $100 million spectacles, only to later find during audits that substantially smaller sums reached venues and pay-per-view outlets, with the remainder discreetly transferred to offshore accounts.
After not reading the SEC settlement. So maybe that's why he tells us we can't lose by betting on it. So let's put that to the test with his last 3 NFT projects.
I'm dropping my NFT tonight. FloydNFT.com, August 10th. Go get it right now. Matter of fact, don't even wait till August 10th. Get it now. My NFT. Own a piece of my legacy. Floyd Money Mayweather. I'm not just in 30% or 40%, full 100%. I'm behind you. I'm all the way in.
Now, Floyd's World was indeed a huge success for Floyd Mayweather, who raked in $4.9 million. But what happened to his fans? Well, they're furious because the price of this NFT has collapsed over 90%, and they angrily responded in the comment section, "You already have an NFT project. It's called @RealFloydNFT."
For his part, Smith emphasizes communications between Mayweather and senior executives at major pay-per-view companies, alleging that the boxer instructed advisors to understate official gate totals by up to 30% while publicly claiming gate revenues surpassing $20 million per event. Smith argues that these understated amounts enabled Mayweather to shrink his taxable earnings and sidestep revenue-sharing commitments owed to promoters such as Golden Boy and Showtime. He also claims that Mayweather capitalized on his image of financial dominance to secure sovereign immunity provisions in bout contracts, a strategy allegedly aimed at protecting select assets from creditors and lawsuits, even when facing claims for contract breaches or unpaid compensation from former sparring partners and choreographers. Although neither Rogan nor Smith presents direct passages from the alleged court materials, both assert they obtained them from sources within federal investigative bodies. Their shared conclusion is that Mayweather's financial brand, known as the Money Team, relies less on legitimate prize money and endorsements and more on a deliberately engineered illusion vulnerable to forensic examination. They maintain that the alleged misconduct extends well beyond the cited $42 million, asserting that this figure reflects only transactions flagged by international financial intelligence agencies, with an extra $150 million in questionable cash movements still under examination by U.S. authorities.
All right. Now, Floyd Mayweather Jr., there's a story circulating that Business Insider did talking about this $400 million property deal that he had been discussing here in New York City. But now, according to Business Insider, it's not what you think it is. They said there's no evidence there's been a sale of these properties, and it's 62 rental apartment buildings in Upper Manhattan. Here is what Floyd Mayweather had said at the time on a video that he posted on his Instagram.
I love bringing the people into my lifestyle, showing the people how I live. Now, I know you guys see me on a regular talking about real estate. Well, lately, I purchased 62 apartment buildings in New York City. And what I need you guys to do, slide over and check out the photos It's not all 62 buildings, it's a few buildings, but guess what? All the buildings belong to me. I don't have no partners. And all the retail down low on my buildings all belong to me. Guess what? You can do the same.
All right. Well, now we're trying to figure out what happened, right, with Business Insider. So according to another update, he did ink a $402 million deal for a Black Spruce portfolio. When he said that it was all his and no one invested, he meant no one was funding his part of the investment but him. And so I think this is something where maybe he owns a piece of this or shares in it, but it hasn't changed hands because the majority owner is still the same owner that it was before. I'm trying to understand what happened with this, but I know there's a story that's circulating, so just putting it out there. Whew, it's a tough one. I'm trying to understand as a real estate person myself what exactly he is communicating when he's saying that he owns this, because they're trying to make it seem like he doesn't, but what it seems like is that he owns shares of
the SEC settlement. When these assertions are weighed against verified facts, the only confirmed case tied to Mayweather's post-boxing business activities is his November 2018 settlement with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission concerning his promotion of Centra's initial coin offering. The SEC determined that he did not disclose a $100,000 payment from Centra and additional compensation from two other ICOs, leading to a combined disgorgement and penalty totaling $614,775 along with a 3-year prohibition on securities promotion. While significant, that enforcement action differs greatly from the alleged $42 million fraud, as it involved a disclosure failure rather than an extensive conspiracy centered on shell corporations and diverted fight income. Separately, federal prosecutors in New York charged Centra Tech's co-founders in May 2018 with securities and wire fraud after they raised over $25 million through fabricated partnership claims involving Visa and MasterCard. Endorsements amplified by Mayweather's social media activity. Those individuals pleaded guilty and received prison terms, whereas Mayweather, though not criminally charged, agreed to pay penalties and halt promotions for 3 years, illustrating the distinction between a civil regulatory matter and the sweeping criminal conspiracy described by Rogan and Smith. Rogan has also cast doubt on the accuracy of Mayweather's publicly stated net worth, disputing Forbes' repeated estimates of roughly $400 million. Based on financial statements Rogan says he reviewed, Mayweather's liquid holdings allegedly never reached that amount, with most funds placed in trust accounts shielded from creditors and subject to withdrawal penalties. Rogan argues these trusts are managed by attorneys and accountants loyal solely to Mayweather's inner circle, portraying the boxer's wealth as exaggerated and largely insulated from governmental or private legal claims. Smith has characterized Mayweather's financier. No criminal charges. Amid these accusations, observers question why criminal indictments have not emerged if the alleged $42 million fraud exists. Rogan and Smith propose two possibilities. First, that Mayweather's team negotiated an immunity understanding with prosecutors in exchange for cooperation on unrelated investigations. Second, that the complexity of disentangling decades-old cross-border financial dealings has delayed official action despite what they claim is compelling evidence. They assert that a senior Justice Department source indicated an indictment was prepared last summer but postponed due to political sensitivities linked to Mayweather's celebrity profile. Critics counter that neither Rogan nor Smith possesses formal legal expertise to interpret complex financial documentation, and that no judicial authority has substantiated a $42 million scheme. Skeptics also stress that podcast commentary and television debate segments designed for entertainment are not admissible proof in a courtroom. Nevertheless, Rogan insists that multiple forensic accountants and whistleblowers bolster his claims, while Smith maintains the authenticity of the leaked materials he reviewed. Ultimately, the only publicly documented financial controversy involving Mayweather remains the SEC settlement over undisclosed cryptocurrency promotions and his indirect association with the Centra Tech fraud prosecuted federally. Although noteworthy, that matter is far narrower than the expansive conspiracy alleged. Should Rogan and Smith's assertions prove accurate, they would transform Mayweather's legacy from an unparalleled fighter into the alleged mastermind of one of the largest celebrity financial scandals. At minimum, their commentary has intensified calls for transparency in how elite athletes oversee vast financial empires. The burden now lies with independent investigators or official bodies to penetrate corporate secrecy and determine whether Floyd Mayweather is truly the arc. is truly the architect of a massive fraud or instead the subject of an organized campaign fueled by speculation and sensational claims? Money problems. In recent years, various boxing insiders and public figures, including Gervonta Davis, International Boxing Hall of Fame elector Rick Glazer, rapper 50 Cent, MMA star Conor McGregor, and internet personality Logan Paul, have publicly referenced alleged financial strains tied to Mayweather. Their remarks span accusations of unpaid obligations in Dubai, multimillion-dollar promissory notes, IRS tax liens, and unsuccessful gambling bets, presenting a contrast between Mayweather's lavish public persona and the complicated realities of managing nine-figure earnings across international systems. Gervonta Davis, once mentored by Mayweather, stated on Instagram that Mayweather was effectively confined in Dubai due to borrowed funds and unfulfilled commitments, alleging he had taken money without delivering promised services. Davis reiterated his stance on X, urging Mayweather to address the matter publicly and insisting repayment was owed. Rick Glazer amplified these rumors by posting that contacts in Dubai confirmed Mayweather was entangled with the local court system over significant debts, noting that financial obligations are treated seriously in the emirate. Conor McGregor, during a July 2017 press event, referenced Mayweather's tax liabilities, pointing to a federal tax lien filed in April 2017 showing $22.2 million owed for 2015 taxes, which Mayweather unsuccessfully sought to defer until after his McGregor bout earnings. Curtis 50 Cent Jackson has long discussed business disputes with Mayweather, claiming he advanced $2 million in 2012 to establish TMT Promotions and was never repaid. More recently, 50 Cent supported Davis's Dubai claims, commenting publicly in a manner that hinted at financial distress. Logan Paul announced plans in early 2024 to pursue legal action, alleging roughly $5 million remained unpaid from their June 2021 exhibition. Showtime later clarified that payments were made to Mayweather Promotions, implying any outstanding distribution was internal. Court records from the early 2000s show multiple IRS liens totaling over $26 million, with Mayweather's filings arguing that while asset-rich, much of his liquidity was tied up in contractual earnings. Mayweather has also acknowledged attempting to place a $400,000 wager on himself ahead of his 2017 fight with McGregor, only to be denied due to regulatory issues, illustrating both his appetite for high-stakes betting and the regulatory complications involved. Lavish spending. Despite financial controversies, Mayweather's extravagant lifestyle remains highly visible. During Super Bowl 2024 festivities in Las Vegas, he documented a bank visit retrieving large amounts of cash, stating he was preparing to make it rain. Video footage showed him shopping at Louis Vuitton and showcasing portions of a watch collection reportedly valued near $100 million. He attended the first Super Bowl hosted in Las Vegas, where the Kansas City Chiefs played the San Francisco 49ers, reserving a luxury suite at Allegiant Stadium reportedly costing over $1 million and bringing dozens of guests. He later revealed paying $18 million to the IRS while retired, emphasizing the scale of his tax responsibilities. Mayweather placed a $95,000 wager on the Chiefs, reportedly profiting $23,000 from their overtime win. Reports also indicated he chose not to dispute an IRS determination of $5,549,675 in taxes plus a $1,19,935 accuracy-related penalty for 2017. The audit concluded with a statutory notice of deficiency issued February 2, 2022, giving him until May 3, 2022, to petition tax court. The deficiency stemmed from disallowing a $14,220 legal expense to do.
These scams are like Anon people hiding behind a Pepe avatar. And of course, there's a laundry list of famous influencers, Logan Paul, Kim Kardashian's David Dobrik, that have all endorsed these absolute shitcoin scam casino rugs that leaves their investors high and dry because they paid them a bunch of money up front and maybe they didn't know any better because it's such a nascent space. But I am just flabbergasted that the highest paid boxer, one of the most famous people on the planet, Floyd Mayweather, has managed to become a repeat offender as a scam artist. Now, everybody knows Floyd's an opportunist. He's an entrepreneur. He likes to make money. He always has money, talks about money. That's his shtick. That's his persona. That's fine. You can make money. You can be a hustler.
The tax court received the petition on May 2, 2022, just before the filing deadline. The document challenged the $5,549,675 assessment and associated $119,935 penalty, asserting the disputed expenses were legitimate business deductions under IRC Section 162A related to multi-year litigation. Records show Floyd J. Mayweather under docket number 1035322 filed in 2023. Meanwhile, although Mayweather cited pay-per-view delays as affecting Logan Paul's compensation, Showtime distanced itself from the issue.
For 36 months with one of my new investments, I would be making $300 million a month.
What investment is that?
In real estate. I'm heavy in real estate, even though I got a lot of cash. OPM. You don't always have to use your money. That's why it's very important for y'all to make sure y'all keep y'all.
Stephen Espinoza, president of the organization overseeing the exhibition, confirmed payment had already been delivered to Mayweather Promotions, leaving distribution between fighters as the promoter's responsibility. He explained that Showtime's agreement was with Mayweather Promotions, not the individual fighters, and suggested delays could stem from processing timelines. Despite appeals for patience, Logan Paul issued warnings of legal action over an alleged $3 million balance, stating publicly that court action would resolve the matter. ESPN analyst Stephen A. Smith also commented on Mayweather's cultural influence, arguing that many young athletes admire his wealth and persona more than his technical boxing excellence, emulating his flamboyance rather than his discipline.
For millions of dollars. I know a dude who he got rich. He was an artist.
Yeah, but
he got rich
then-
selling NFTs. Yeah. In the beginning when everyone was like frothy with it. This thing is like a shit cartoon. And how much did they go for?
I think it's Ether. So 111 Ether would be the price. That's 3,000 a coin right now. So it'd be 300 grand.
300 grand.
It said it was sold at 769. So that would
you
have
could
been
just
like close to
screenshot
$1 million.
it.
So it was sold at 769. So it was sold at close to $1 million.
All right, everyone, stay tuned for the latest in boxing news, highlights, events, and stories. Subscribe to Knockout today and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Be sure to watch our other videos too. Until next time, take care and stay safe.